are capable of winning races. But you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest-running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Wednesday. And that can mean only one thing. Big bodies out on the racetrack. Midwest Truck Series. Welcome, everybody. Digital Sim Sports Network, Dirt Racing Network, live coverage. The Midwest Truck Series from Kansas Motor Speedway this evening. 25 heavy-duty sim racers in the house. I missed all you guys, too, and my apologies. I was trapped out of town on a time-sensitive project, and we ran into some issues. And as it turns out, sadly, our issues weren't even the biggest issues because the mechanical people brought all the wrong parts. We got all of our stuff done Thursday morning after we stayed all night, only to find out that it was absolutely unnecessary because the wrong mechanical package showed up. And we ended up just staying and working all day Thursday and part of Friday to get way ahead of everybody. So I unfortunately have to go back this week to do some of the things that needed to be done last Thursday, just so that startup can begin. But I'm back tonight. I'm glad to be back. Sorry that I missed all of you last week. Hopefully we'll have a little better show here tonight. I don't know how last week's show was. I didn't go watch it. I didn't have time. Scuttlebutt, and I don't like to spread rumors, but several people came to me and said they missed me greatly, and I do appreciate that. It means a lot to me that you guys come every single week. You expect a great show, and hopefully we'll pick right back up where we were 2 weeks ago. Looks like it's going to be a pretty good one. A lot of guys really close here. 22s, 24s, 27s up in the top three there. I know we have our top four in points going to drop to the rear of the field. I also know we have, I think, 7 drivers in the Dash for Cash tonight. I don't have all of those lists, and I need to ask for those. I really was mildly unaware that that was going on. I thought I had heard something, but I wasn't sure if that was a one-off deal or what. But either way, as we progress through the season, I'll get more information. Hopefully by next week I can get some more information. Paint scheme on, the Mick Ultra. I saw that here a little while ago. I was going through looking at all the trucks. I definitely was looking at our man Garrett Boyd. He is officially sponsored by the Digital Sim Sports Network and the Dirt Racing Network for this series, so we wanted to make sure that he had his stuff on tonight to represent, and he does. Very good looking. Quality one Digital Sim Sports Network truck out there. A lot of drivers rolling out. Let's go check out a couple while they're running qualifying. Still qualifying for points. There's 77, Sean McLaughlin. And there is the aforementioned number 21 of G-Body Garrett Boyd. Has our logos all over. Got the Netcode Esports boys on the tailgate, too. I like that a lot. Michael Everett. His Star Spangled number 8 Budweiser. We talked about Cameron Watson just a second ago, and here is that Mick Ultra number 31. No Coast Customs, it looks like, on the paint job for that. Yes, he is, but he's going to start in the back because he's in the top 4 in points. Here comes Trevor. Trevor Hakes always comes with some funky stuff. And I'm telling you right now, that is probably one of my favorites real quickly. One, it's got the big largemouth bass on the side of it. I'm not a bush beer guy, but I do like the concept of that truck. That is very slick. You're going to represent some beer, do it with some style. That's got some style to it. Jonathan Scott always has a very slick-looking truck, that 51 truck. There's one out here, the 55, this guy right here. I totally dig this number combination right here. I'm loving the 55 on that thing. I mean, he's sponsored by McDonald's, which is, on somebody's car that I can't stand in NASCAR. But I'm going to give this guy a break because I'm totally letting those numbers just fix all of the other ick and ew about it. So I do like that truck, though. I'm a Powerade fan, too, by the way. Oh, Austin D'Amore, the D7. And he's running a 107 here. We're used to seeing him on Tuesday. I didn't see him last night, actually. So, kind of weird. Adam Vinny goes to the top of the board. Get Boyd second. Brock Bigelow. The Gigolo, Brock Bigelow. Third, quick, Corey Moore and Kevin Spaulding. Stephen Pearson. Pearson's got new paint on that 83. He keeps the same theme all the time. POWMIA, but he's got new paint on that 83 truck. And he goes fourth quick. This is an iRacing paint. Just plain old iRacing paint. And that's pretty much default the way that thing comes. The 125 of Josh Masburn. Our only female driver in the field. Indriani. And I'm going to butcher that for a while, sadly. And I'm not even sure what game that is depicted on there. I got to find that out. Somebody's going to have to tell me. And then the 4 of Mike Forstner. Last couple of trucks out here on track right now. Todd Kyer. Kyer's got DRN on the hood. Well, we don't hate that. Ever. I saw somebody else had it on their tailgate earlier, had the DRN logo on the tailgate. And we don't hate that either. Love the representation. Let's start at the top. Hello, Miss Barbara. Thank you. Like I said, I'm glad to be back. And there's Josh. Yeah, Scotty, it is hump day. We love hump day. I don't know why we all love hump day, but we all love hump day. Robert Martin, Jane, Bill, the Vinnies, always here. Guys, if this is your first time watching, shout it out in the chat. I don't care where you're at. If you're on Facebook, say hi through Facebook, and then like, share, and follow. If you're over on YouTube, Twitch, or Trovo, hit the subscribe button so you'll know every time we go live. Less and less as the summer rolls on. Just a couple of nights every week right now. But as things start to cool off, September-ish, it'll start to pick back up. I know the Netcode guys will start a new season sometime in September. And Thursday nights will be back in action. So Adam Vinny will be the quick qualifier. He'll get the bonus points, and then he's promptly going to go start in the last row. He will start on the inside of that final row. Garrett Boyd is going to stay up front. I think Bigelow goes to the back with him, so that'll move Pearson and Boyd to the front row. We're going to have to let them roll off before we can officially do it. We'll show you what the starting grid would look like without all the inverts. I think you'll see Corey Moore, Kevin Spaulding stay. Michael Everett and Jonathan Scott will stay there. Mike Forstner, Russell Harrell, Tony Martin, and Frank Chavez. They'll stay in row number 6. Brandon Mackey, Todd Kier. I'm sorry. I've been saying that wrong for 3 seasons, and I was corrected a while back, and I'm trying to be better. So Todd Kier. They're in row 7. Austin D'Amore and Kyle Gomez in row 8. Row 9, McLaughlin and Watson. Cameron and Chazon in row number 10. And Hakes and Escobar row 11. And Ranger and Mashburn row 12. All of those guys, they're all going to scoot up. I think at least 3 of the 4 that are going to the back are here. I caught some of the drivers' meeting, and they were kind of going over it, but we are just waiting for all these guys to start rolling off. So then they'll start doing their shuffles. I know Boyd is in the... Whoa, my drink stuck to the coaster. I know Garrett Boyd is in the Dash for Cash. I know Adam Vinny's in the Dash for Cash. McLaughlin's in the Dash for Cash tonight. Corey Moore's in the Dash for Cash. Hello, Jay Church. So the Victory Vinnies are here. Well, hey, I'm just going to put it out there, man. Happy wife, happy life. And if she's a Tiny Dancer fan, then, I mean, you kind of got to do what she says. Man, I think I just gave that guy way too much power over people. That is sad and scary all at the exact same moment.
Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green.
We're not going green because we are having to rearrange our field here just a little bit. So they're not even going to take the green. We're going to get things sorted out. It's going to move. Corey Moore is going to come to the front here on the inside of the front row. And then Michael Everett and Steven Pearson. Tony Martin up to row 3 on the inside. He'll have Kevin Spaulding on his outside. And then Scott and Mackey and Harold and DeMore in row 5. Chavez McLaughlin are row 6. Kieran Emerson, row 7. Gomez and Hakes, row 8. Row 9 is Watson and Ranger. Chazon and Escobar in row 10. Indriani and Mashburn in row 11. Row 12, Bigelow and Forstner. And out back, Jack. He is way, 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 way back here. The old Lumber Dude limousine himself. He is going to have to pass 24 trucks in 75 laps with a pit stop thrown in there for good measure to get to the front tonight. So I kind of think I like this format of moving the top 4 guys in points every week to the back of the field. It's going to shake things up. But the lights are off this time. That pace car is going to get out of the way down here. Yeah, there it goes. We're about to go green. In the start zone, green flag. Midwest Truck Series at Kansas Motor Speedway officially underway. This is a big fast track. You're going to see some drafting. You're going to see some guys having to make some moves. Out of 1 and 2, I think Boyd got just a tiny bit free right there when he tried to cut the truck down the hill. He's going to follow Moore down the backstretch. Everett on the inside of Pearson for 3rd and 4th. They're side by side behind that, Spaulding and Martin. You know, I just saw that Coors Light truck right there, and I think that's Brandon Mackey maybe in the 99. There's a lot of beer sponsorships in this field tonight. Bud and Bud Light, Mick Ultra, jostling down the backstretch, and they're going to stay 2 wide. Jonathan Scott, the first of the single, or the last of the single file cards before we get to 2 wide. He runs in the 5th spot right now. Tony Martin on the apron trying to gain an advantage by making the track a few feet shorter. And I think he's got Everett for the moment. Everett should get a big run off the top of 2, and he will do that. He'll pull alongside. He'll get into that side draft right there. I thought maybe he was going to stall out, but he will not. Here comes Austin DeMore. Jay, I thought we were whiskey and things. I didn't think we were beer and things. I will say I did have a nice little IPA today for lunch, and it was pretty good. Local brewery. Garrett Boyd making a move to go to the inside, take the lead from Corey Moore. He'll have it getting into 3 by 1 truck length. Out of 4. A lead for the first time this evening. Garrett Boyd to the point. Lap number 4, starting lap number 5. Here comes Steven Pearson. He made the same move. He got by Corey Moore. Kevin Spaulding is tucked in behind, but he's not going to get the spot as Moore will fall into 3rd. Spaulding is 4th. Scott is 5th. Then Martin just a tick back off of Scott. He runs 6th. DeMore behind him. Everett behind that. McLaughlin. And the last truck in your top 10. This is the 99 of Brandon Mackey. It is a good bit back to Forstner and Bigelow. Bigelow already up from the back of the field. Went back to row 11. And he is already inside the top 12. Adam Vinny following him through. Go hard early, pass as many as you can till the tires give up, and then hope you can get a pit in. If somebody makes a mistake, gives you a caution, you can start that process over again to get to the end. Right now, it'll probably be about lap 40 when we take pit. Let's go back a little further. Hakes is right behind these guys in the 12 truck. He runs 14th. Then Emerson, Keir, and Escobar. Escobar still trying to clear Ranger, and he'll do it getting into turn 3 on lap 7. Watson behind that in the 31. Here comes Chazon in that 44 truck. He'll slide by Russell Harold in the 19. They're side by side behind that. Kyle Gomez the 55 and Indriani in the 20. They run back in 21st and 22nd. Make it 22nd and 23rd. Then Frank Chavez and Jacob Mashburn quite a ways back. Let's go back towards the front because the two teammates, Pearson and Spalding, are trying to get hooked up nose to tail right here. There goes Corey Moore. And Corey Moore in the Pabst Blue Ribbon trucks. Like I said, we got a lot of beer represented in this field. Some of it good, some of it not so good. Oh, move for the lead. Pearson got Boyd off the line. And Steven Pearson will surge ahead with help from his teammate. Pearson leads lap number 9. And now Boyd may start to migrate a little closer to the top. He might have migrated a little too close to the top of the track. I saw Spark shoot off the right rear right there, but man, that was a big run down the back stretch. Pearson out in front trying to hold off Moore and Boyd. And Boyd will probably go high side here again. And Pearson is trying to cover that entry, make him just a little snug. So he's got to really drop back. Now Boyd will get a big run out of 2. Is it enough to come down and drop to the inside in 3 and 4? I don't think he'll get there in time. He fell way back. Kevin Spalding. And we'll ride with Spalding. He watches the action of the top 3 in front of him. Oh, Boyd, little dink into the fence. Running that Kyle Larson line. Here comes Austin DeMore pulled to the inside. He's going to try to pass. He's going to try to get them both. DeMore into that 4th spot. Hello, Beards. Welcome to the show. And now Corey Moore going back to the point. Takes the 45 truck around the 83. Pearson back to 2nd. Boyd 3rd to Moore. Everett now making a move on the inside of Spalding to try to take 5th place away. And he's got Tony Martin tucked in behind him. Martin going to get the job done. He'll get around to Spalding, move himself up to the 6th spot. And then he goes up and shuts the door, so the big run has to stall out. Jonathan Scott now working the bottom. Look who's in the top 10 now. There's the 11 truck of Adam Vinny. Vinny up to 8th as he squeaks past Spalding right there. So he started 25th. We're 15 laps in. He's in the top 10 solidly now as he moves up behind the 107 of Austin DeMore, and he's going to try to use that high side draft. Get around Scott there on the top. Jonathan Scott going to fall from 7th to 8th. Side by side in front. Whoa, that was almost contact. Man, we can move the camera fast enough. DeMore and Martin almost made contact in the middle of 3 and 4. More Boyd Pearson, 1, 2, 3, then Michael Everett, just squeaking off the left side of the screen. He just barely exited stage left right there in front of Tony Martin. And Adam Vinny now up to 6th, but he's side by side with DeMore. He didn't forget how to drive. Instantly blame it on the driver. It's the system. Top 4 in points have to go to the back to start the race. And since they think he was second in points, he was back in the back row. He was fast qualifier. He did get the bonus points for qualifying. And right now, he's settled into that 6th spot. He and Tony Martin kind of riding back here. We're about halfway through the fuel run. Garrett Boyd going back to the front. Got around Corey Moore just a second ago. Where's Brock Bigelow? Let's go find Brock Bigelow. Runs 12th. Made a good run with Adam Vinny up to about 11th or 12th, and he has kind of stalled out right there. No, I know it's not the team owners. I get that. It's not the driver. It's just the system. It's a handicapping system. I actually think it's a great idea, personally. I'm kind of a fan of it. Now Adam Vinny in the top 5. Picked off 20 trucks in 19 laps. He's looking for more. He's going to look at Everett. Try to figure out where the weak spot is. It's going to be on the inside getting into turn number 1. And Adam Vinny will move into the top 4. Pearson right in front of that, led a couple of laps, has fallen back a ways. .6 seconds off the lead and under fire with a big wiggle out of 4. That's going to give Adam Vinny a top 3 spot. That was a freebie. He didn't even have to work for that one. And now he's going to try to reel in Corey Moore. Corey Moore is 1.1 seconds behind the leader, Garrett Boyd, and only 6.5, 7/10 of a second ahead of Adam Vinny. Brock Bigelow now into the top 10. Trying to get around Austin DeMore to take the spot, and he will. Coming out of turn number 4. Well, it's got to be something. Griphacks.exe. I don't know what it is. He's up there in the 3rd spot. He's 2 seconds off the lead and a half second behind Corey Moore right now. Michael Everett behind that, and Everett's been holding pace. He's about a 10th off the lap times of the top 2. He got around Pearson. Pearson's back to 5th. Scott now working around Martin. Martin back to 7th, and Kevin Spaulding has fallen back to 8th. He and Sean McLaughlin battling for that spot. And then Brock Bigelow is up to 10th. He got a good run up the backstretch, but he's going to have to slow down to stay off the bumper of the 77. We are almost a third of the way through this thing. Wiggle from the 27 coming off of turn number 4. Tires are starting to get a little old. They're very hot. We've been under the green flag since we dropped it, and this time Bigelow goes up. Little brush with the outside fence. Drops him out of the top 10, makes him 11th as Forstner went by on the bottom, and Forstner's got a good run. He'll go after McLaughlin. And he'll get the spot coming out at turn 4, coming around to get the start-finish line here. We start lap 25 with Garrett Boyd in first, 1.6 seconds back. Well, Adam Vinny made a pass on Corey Moore just a second ago. About almost 2 laps now. Lap and 3/4. He made the pass. And he's going to pick up second from that. He's still 1.6 seconds behind Garrett Boyd. Boyd started at the front, has stayed at the front the whole time, hasn't led every lap. He let Moore get by. He let Pearson get by for a little bit, and then he just was steady, stayed true to his plan, and he is now 1.7 seconds out in front of the rest of the field. Let's go back and find out where our lady is, our female driver. She's back here in 19th right now. She's about a half second behind Chris Emerson and about 9/10 of a second ahead of Kyle Gomez. Austin DeMore has fallen quite a ways back. He's all the way back to 14th. He's just in front of Cameron Watson and Todd Keir. Sean McLaughlin right outside the top 10. He's running 11th currently. We're going to go back up here towards the front. We'll go see Corey Moore in 3rd. Moore's got about 1 1/4 seconds over 4th place Michael Everett, and he's about a second behind Adam Vinny, and Adam Vinny is starting to close the gap. Got it down to 1.1 seconds. I think you'll see these guys start to pit around lap 37 to 40, 41. Boyd is running way to the outside, and I think that's what's hurting him. He keeps finding the fence, and he keeps losing all kinds of time getting into that outside wall. You have got to be so precise when you're up there on the top. It's under half second now. He's in the draft, and that is going to help Adam Vinny a ton. Driver of the 21 truck. He is beating up the right side of that thing. Adam Vinny not running the same line. He's kind of going where Boyd is not, but he's getting behind him on those long straightaways and using the draft. Lap or two, and we'll see a change for the lead as we're getting into lap traffic. Is that Hakes? Hakes is right in front of these guys. That time, Boyd. Oh, he chose the middle. Hakes got free. We're about to get a caution.
Caution is out.
Yeah.
Caution is out.
I can't get it to stop scrolling away from me. Yeah, we might have to rewind this a little bit. And Hakes just slowed because the truck was super tight. And that killed the right front, killed the left front. I think it blew the motor on the 21 maybe. I'm not sure. I know he's going to the pits, but that's going to hand the lead from worst to first before we get to halfway. Adam Vinny out in front. As we should see drivers head for pit road right here. There's going to be no doubt. Everybody's coming. Chazon was already on pit road. Hakes is on pit road, and Boyd is on pit road. Bigelow and somehow Pearson missed his box completely. That will kill him. Getting off pit road, he's probably going to lose 10 or 12 spots. We'll watch the 83 truck a little bit here. Oh, we got to go find him. There he is. And he just dropped. He's going to lose at least 7 or 8 spots in that deal. He went a whole pit box too far. The 125 of Mashburn did not pit. He goes to the front, but he will relinquish that. I think he'll pit this next time by. The 44 of Chazon, a lap down. He's right behind the pace truck, actually. And I think he had pitted before the leaders did, so he'll come around. Probably get a black flag, and he'll have to stay at the very, very back. But Adam Vinny, Tony Martin, and Kevin Spaulding are the top 3 currently. Then Jonathan Scott and Michael Everett. Forstner, Bigelow, McLaughlin, Escobar, Watson, and DeMoore. Through about 11th right there. I am having a hard time trying to figure out how the 125 does not go to pit road. Old tires. Guys, it may get exciting. We may have a parking lot right here on the front stretch. Restarts on worn out tires, especially after they've cycled heat and gone cold, is a recipe for disaster. I think we saw it here at Kansas early last season when they came. Somebody tried to stay out on old tires, and it was just a big, big mistake. You're going to spin the tires. Truck's liable to get away from you. Hopefully everybody behind is aware of that.
Green flag, green flag.
Yeah, 125 truck is not going anywhere but there. He got a little help. Admittedly, he got a little help, but old tires, you're not going to get a good start. You probably try to start it in 3rd gear. That's not going to work. It's going to hurt Tony Martin the most because he was row 2 inside. Now he's all the way back to the 7th spot. He's going to have to battle for that. Doesn't look like he picked up any damage pushing that bumper on the 127. Or 125, excuse me. But Vinny's got the lead. Spaulding is second. Then Everett, Bigelow, DeMoore. That's your top 5. Jay, I've experienced that so many times. One of the big races of the season for iRacing. Daytona 500. And yours truly. 2 laps remaining. I had about what said 2 laps of fuel in the car. I was on tires that were at least 50-plus laps old, and I was going to be a hero and win it. And yet, no, not even close. What I did was I jumped on it. When the green flag fell, I got across the start-finish line, and I was upside down before we got past the end of pit road. And 14 other cars were just piled on top of it. So, yeah, I know all about it. I've done it multiple times. You want to be a hero. You want to do something exciting. And the only thing you do is usually get wrecked for it. So, halfway officially right there. Vinny, Spaulding, Bigelow, Everett, DeMoore, and Martin now up to 6th as he made the pass to get back in the top 6. Scott, Watson, Mackey, and McLaughlin are your top 10. Then Pearson, after that horrendous trip down pit road, he runs in the 11th spot. Forstner's right there. They're challenging one another. And then Emerson behind that. Kier, Escobar, Indriani, Harold, Ranger, Chavez, Chazon, Gomez, and Mashburn. That's 22nd place. That's the truck that tried to restart on the old tires. He's going to have to go to pit anytime now. Actually, I got protested by like 6 or 7 of them. There's nothing they could do, but they were all so mad that I got protested. Now Brock Bigelow makes a move up to the second spot. Takes that away from Spalding. DeMoore still fourth, but he's got truck up the inside. Ooh, Michael Everett. That truck got really sideways. It didn't look like it from this angle. That truck was super sideways. DeMoore hanging on. Tony Martin now trying to work his way back around the high side and get himself in the top 5. What is Bigelow, like the Lumber Dude Chaise Lounge or something like that? What's his nickname? He's going after the lead. Bigelow to the inside of Vinny. Out of 4, lap 41. Give it to the 27 truck. Austin DeMoore tucked right back in here in the top 3, and he is in the draft with these guys. You guys got to tell me what Bigelow's Lumber Dude nickname is. Oh, the Land Yacht. Okay, yeah, I remember. I was going to say like the folded lawn chair or something, but I don't know. So many nicknames in here nowadays. And I have to take responsibility for a lot of that because, well, I give people nicknames all the time. That battle for the lead is fantastic. Side by side. Top 3 right here together. Bigelow, the only truck on the inside right there. And he had it for a moment. But I think the draft of the 2 on the outside is pushing Vinny back out front. Land Yacht. We need to get him a Cadillac truck sponsorship on there. That's what you need. Lumber Dude Lingerie. That sounds like if Tiny Dancer joined your group over there. Lumber Dude Lingerie. That's what he would be. Vinny DeMoore. DeMoore worked around Bigelow to the high side and took the spot away. Now Bigelow is third. Michael Everett is right there. It is a gaggle behind all 31 truck. Cameron Watson got himself too high, got in the marbles, got the fence a little bit, and he's going to fall all the way back to 8th. He was 6th. Might have been 5th momentarily, but Tony Martin jumped on that real quick. Top 5 are working themselves back together, make it 6 because Jonathan Scott is going to be right in this too. I told you there's some drafting that's going to go on here. And I think some of these guys are figuring it out here. This second run, the last half, they're going to work the draft. Watching DeMoore as he tries to size up Vinny. McLaughlin's still in the top 10. He and Mackey both. Kier's 11th, and he's not that far off. He should be able to sniff up the draft off of that 99 truck in front of him. I want to keep my eyes closer to the front right now because the gap is starting to open up a little bit. First to second. Michael Everett there in third. And he's trying to decide which truck's going to push the best. Bigelow or Martin, because they're side by side behind the 8 of Everett. This time DeMoore goes up. I think he drugged the fence a little bit. The gap opened up some more. Truck slow on the apron. That is going to be the 125 of Mashburn. He's going to go to the pits. Finally. Corey Moore, Garrett Boyd, our only 2 retirees. 21 truck still on the lead lap. top two starting to go at each other once again. It didn't work out for Demore the last time. We'll see if he can do something with it this time. We're going to be 25 to go this time by. Everett still third. Top six are in a single file line all the way back to Jonathan Scott. I think everybody's riding until about that last 12 or 15 laps, and then you might see a push. There goes Bigelow up the hill. He might have got a little bit of the fence in turn two, and that's going to let Martin get right back alongside. Cameron Watson still in the top six. He gets around Jonathan Scott now. Let's go look at Martin and Bigelow. They battle side by side for fourth and fifth. And Bigelow's up on the top. He'll get good runs on the exits of the corner right here. And Martin's going to have to just basically hug his door to try to break that draft. Pull him back. Meanwhile, Everett is to the bumper of Demore. Vinny's still out front. Started 25th. He got to the lead right before the halfway point. Caught a caution, able to go in. Get new tires, fill it up with fuel. He should be good to the end of this thing. So everybody's going to have to chase. Demore second, Everett is third. Now Brock Bigelow and Tony Martin still battling. And Bigelow went up and challenged for the lead, had it for about 2 laps. And now he's falling back to fourth, and he's kind of holding station right there. Martin still fifth. Watson up to sixth. Not the big mover of the race, but close to it. He's picked up 12. Austin Demore has picked up 13 spots since we dropped the green flag. Scott behind that. Now Mackey and McLaughlin just inside the top 10, 8th and 9th. And they're racing side by side. Coming around, it'll be 20 to go. And now U. Escobar, the 72 truck, up to the top 10. Stephen Pearson is right behind him. Indriani was 21st when we checked on her last. She is now up to the 12th spot. Spalding, Keir, Emerson, Harold, that's 16th. And a ways back to Ranger, Forstner, Chazon, quite a ways back off of those guys. Then Gomez and Frank Chavez behind that. 19 to go this time. One caution at lap 32. We amazingly didn't get a caution on that subsequent restart, although we probably could have easily. Now Demore opens up a gap of about 8 truck lengths on Michael Everett. It's about 8 to 10 back to Bigelow, still in fourth. And then Tony Martin has closed it back up to about 4 truck lengths. He runs in the fifth spot, but Adam Vinny is out front, making short work of it. Lap times have come way up. 30:28 for the fastest lap of the race. Now last time by 31:68, so almost a second and a half. We have slowed down. The gap is starting to get wider and wider between first and second. Michael Everett having a good run tonight here. He's in the top 3. 16 laps remaining. Artificially hilarious, I hate to tell you, but Mr. Moore has taken that. He took that to the garage area about 22 laps ago. Not exactly sure what happened to him, but he took it in. There's your leader, and he's working into lap traffic. At lap traffic is the 125 of Jacob Mashburn. Mashburn already about 4 or 5 laps down here. 6 laps officially. He's about to go 7. But the gap, well, the gap is ginormous now. It's over 2 1/4 seconds. As Michael Everett now is going to work on Austin DeMore for second. He sat there and rode for a long time. And now he'll clear the 107. 2.3 seconds behind the leader. But he'll come up the hill, cover the spot. Bigelow is starting to close in on this top 3 battle. We're getting down to just a handful of laps here. Almost inside 10 to go. Here comes Tony Martin. Martin's going to make a run at Bigelow. '31 truck. I think I said he went to the pits. I had that confused with a different truck. Little wiggle coming out of 4, but he's hanging on to it. He's inside the top 7 right now. There was a move behind that. Pearson went to the apron, picked off Escobar. Put himself up to 8th now. Michael Everett in front of DeMore, and he started to ease out. He's 3/4 of a second out in front of him now. As we come around, it'll be 10 to go this time by. Still 2.75 seconds from first to second. Adam Vinny, worst to first. Just needs to hang on to it for about 9 more circuits now. He's growing that lead. It's growing about 1/10 a lap. And hello, Miss Mindy. DeMore is still 3rd. Bigelow is closing in. So is Tony Martin. We're going to have a good battle for that final podium spot tonight. Martin down to the bottom, easing around Bigelow. Bigelow will have a big run off the top. DeMore slid the truck a little. Now Bigelow's going to get trapped. The pick from Martin. He's using the 107 of DeMore to keep Bigelow in check. Now Martin up the hill in between trucks, and he breaks the momentum of the 27 of Bigelow. And now he's going to go wide. DeMore tried to block the line. Martin with a good run down the backstretch. He's going to easily pull alongside here. This time DeMore cannot defend it at all. He gets on that corner. He can slow him up just a little, but I think it's only a matter of time now. Now Martin will clear him. move up the hill. Demore tried to dive it into one, but too much momentum, and Tony Martin now on the podium. Brock Bigelow going to take advantage of the slip there from the 107 of Demore, and he'll move himself up to fourth. He's still got to make up 0.4 of a second on the driver in front of him if he wants to get on the podium. It's 3.5 seconds from first to second now. That's about 0.9 of a second from second to third. And that gap is closing. Tony Martin, speed late. He was about 1.5 faster than the driver in front of him last lap. Let's see where we are at the wave lap, because we're coming to 5 to go right here. 86 for your leader. 03 and an 01 for second and third, and a 16 for the driver in fourth, Brock Bigelow. So Bigelow's truck falling off just a little bit. Adam Vinny's truck not falling off. He's been running those 7s and 8s for a while. Michael Everett trying to hang on for a fantastic finish tonight. We're down 2. 4 laps remaining. That time Tony Martin was about 1/10 of a second quicker than Michael Everett, but it's 0.8 of a second. He's got a lot of gap to make up. With 3 laps to go, I'm not sure he can do it. He needs to get about 0.4 and then get in the draft. He might be able to get there and make a last lap pass, but it's 3 to go for your leader, Adam Vinny. Started 25th. He's going to stay in the top 4 in points for sure. He'll be starting at the back of the field next week too. Austin Demore in 5th. Jonathan Scott getting good runs. He's just not able to do anything when we get to the corners. Demore covers that exit line and uses that momentum and surges back out in front. Think the old tires becoming a factor for the 107. He's not going to be able to hold him off forever. White flag coming out this time. Adam Vinny out in front. He'll go through turn 2 down the backstretch. He's half a lap away from going worst to first. And he'll come out of 4. Adam Vinny is going to win at Kansas in the Midwest Truck Series. Michael Everett's going to hang on for second tonight. Tony Martin going to round out our podium. Brock Bigelow up to 4th, and Jonathan Scott will grab 5th. Demore, Watson, Pearson, Escobar, Mackey, McLaughlin through 11th. Good run for Indriani. 12th place tonight here at Kansas. Chris Emerson, 13th. Todd Keir in 14th. Frank Ranger, 15th. Russell Harold, 16th. 17th was Kelvin Spaulding. Mike Forstner in the 18th spot. Kyle Gomez, 19th. Tyler Chazon, 20th. Frank Chavez in the 21st. Trevor Hakes, 22nd. Jacob Mashburn, 23rd. Corey Moore, 24th. And Garrett Boyd with an early exit. Unfortunately, he was leading the race. Car in front of him got loose in the corner lap car, and it ended up just being an ugly situation. So we're going to find our drivers. There's Tony Martin. He's already up here. Mr. Everett ready to go, and we're going to get that other guy ready to go too. We're going to talk to that other guy last. We don't want to talk to him first. Tony Martin, you got a copy? Tony Martin, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. It didn't look easy, but a third place finish tonight. Tell us a little bit about your run.
Yeah, I worked for this third place. I pretty much spent the whole race racing. It felt good to get out there and run with guys and keep it clean. Only the one caution. Not really sure. Oh, we had that wreck, but I mean, it was a fun race.
Well, I want to ask you, you had the caution about lap 32. You're going to restart on about lap 35. Did you know the truck in front of you had stayed out on 30-odd lap old tires?
Yeah, I knew he was on old tires, but I think he missed his shift on that restart. And I tried the best I could to stay off of him, but I just gave him a little nudge there.
Well, we kind of called it only a couple of things could happen. Neither one of them were good if you're standing on tires that old trying to get a restart. And obviously, he's through the grass and you guys are going on, but you lost a lot of spots. You had to work hard to get those back. Apparently no damage. You didn't have any overheating issues on the 22 truck.
Yeah, I was able to get through it all right. But yeah, just making the passes, it was rough tonight. Everybody was holding their lines and keeping speed, so you just had to pick away where you could.
Well, an awesome run, man. Give me some shout-outs and some thank yous before we let you go.
Thank the league. Thank you for putting on the broadcast. All my guys over at QuickTime Motorsports and Velocity Race Wraps.
All right, man. Congrats on the run. Thanks for chatting with us. We'll look forward to seeing you back next week.
All right. Thank you, sir.
That is Tony Martin. He finishes in third, and now we'll get our driver that finishes second. The first thing we have to do is scold him because he took his truck off the track. We can't see you. The fans can't see it, but we're still going to talk to him. Michael Everett, second place finish at Kansas tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We don't get to see you up here very often at the end of these things, man. You ran a pretty dang good race out there.
Yeah, well, finally getting race control helped me out. That's because I've been focused on running the league. That's what hard.
Well, it's nice when someone takes some of the weight off your shoulders. It actually probably lets you sit in there and be more comfortable in the truck.
Yeah.
Well, now with race control kind of being taken over, maybe 8 Truck's going to start being a little more of a fixture on the podium.
Yeah, I'll definitely get it working. So.
And we can't talk you into going to the booth, can we?
Yeah.
You want to come up here and commentate the race?
No.
You'd rather drive. Yeah, I would too. If I was in your shoes, I'd rather drive too. But awesome,
I'd
man.
rather drive.
You only had the one caution here tonight, and looked like everything kind of worked out in your favor. But that guy in the 11 truck just could not close the gap on him.
No. I was luckily I got around Austin. That helped me out a lot. So.
What an awesome run, man. A second place finish. Got to feel pretty good. Give me some shout-outs, some thank yous before we let you head out.
Well, as the league owner, I want to thank everybody that participates in this league. I mean, it means a lot for me. I mean, even though I'm the league owner, but it takes everybody to run a great league. So I appreciate everybody that's joined. So that's about it. So, and thank you for broadcasting.
All right, man. Well, congrats on the run. Hopefully we get to see more of you up here as the season goes on. We'll look forward to seeing what you can do next week.
All right, appreciate it. See you next week.
That is your second place finisher, Mr. Michael Everett. And now we'll move on to the guy that all the tech guys are down there slobbering in the garage area. They want the 11 truck to tech, and they want it right away. Well, we're going to hold him up for just a minute before they can start taking it apart and figuring out why it's so fast. But Adam Vinny, worst to first tonight.
Man, this truck was just really good. I thought I had a really good truck the end of last season, the championship night, but this truck was just slightly better. Tech. I already got word from Tech. I have to go straight there. I can't do no burnouts, no riding through grass or nothing. I got to go straight there.
I am not surprised by that request. However, I have to ask you, you carved through the field pretty good. You're coming up on the 21 truck, and it looks like that's going to shape up to maybe be a little bit of a battle. Relief or disappointment when you see the lap truck, and I don't know what happened there, but it looked like he slowed drastically, and the 21 just got right up the back end of him, and he was done.
Yeah, definitely disappointed. I feel bad for Boyd. Definitely wanted to race for it. I kind of figured it was going to be a good race for it. But yeah, coming up on them, I stayed high. I saw Boyd had position on him. And apparently the lap car ended up blowing a tire and coming down. And I don't know how I fit between them and the wall, but it worked out. If not, I don't think we'd be talking right now.
I think it was all the beard oil you had rubbed down the sides of the truck so you could go faster.
Yeah, just slipped right on by.
Slid right on through there. I got to ask, because I keep getting grief in the chat about those green hoops and how they're my hoops and they're worth about 10 horsepower. You think you're going to, get any grief for that when you get to tech?
I have no idea what anybody's talking about. I'm just the driver, so I know nothing.
Oh, well, we can't even goad you into saying something that's controversial. Dang, you're a lot of fun to interview, my friend.
Appreciate it.
We'll give you some shout-outs, some thank yous before we let you head straight to the tech trailer.
All right, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you, Roger, Dirt Racing Network, DSSN. Man, just everybody, Beard Wisconsin, Small Batch Beard Oils and Balms, Next Level Litigation Support, Puma Oakley, It's Fridge Brick Time, Velocity Race Wraps, Port Charlotte. I had to do that for Forsner. Check them out for all your lawn care needs. Ranger Creative, RCC,
Concepts.
Thompson Racing, just everybody through the continued support. My parents, obviously, my girlfriend and my kids, my teammates on here, just everybody. And thanks everybody coming out, enjoying the broadcast. Hopefully we put on a good show for you. And thanks everybody.
You know what I'm going to say? You need to go hustle you a noise-canceling headphone sponsor for poor Mindy, because every time bad things happen, I hear things, and she needs headphones.
Yeah, I definitely got to do that. I think building a soundproof room is going to be in the making pretty soon.
There you go.
She brought that to my attention, and I'm okay with that.
Sounds like a plan, my friend. Well, congrats on the win. I'll look forward to seeing you start at the back again next week.
Yeah, sounds good. Should be a lot of fun. Appreciate it.
Hey, who got the Dash for Cash deal tonight? You?
Yeah.
All right. I knew you were in it. I wasn't positive, but I knew you were in it. I knew I heard your name. So congrats on that too, man. I'll see you next week right back here.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, everybody.
You're a winner tonight, Mr. Adam Vinny. I know that is a big crowd favorite right now, as he went worst to first, and he picks up all the bonus cash for the Dash for Cash. So congrats to him. Thank you all for being here. It felt good to be back. I'm happy to be back on Wednesdays. We're going to try not to miss any more if we can absolutely avoid it. Without you guys, there's no reason for us to even do this. With all the awesome leagues giving us great racing like we saw here tonight, there is nothing to cover. So high fives and pats on the back all the way around. Until we see you the next time, peace and love to everybody. Keep